is at short. As there's a swing and a drive by Skylar Skinner. That ball's deep. That ball's gone! Coach Alyssa Ruiz's program. There's a pop-up and a diving catch! What a play by Lauren Zerwinski! The 1-1. That ball swung on and hit hard to the left side, and that's a base hit for Beltran. Beltran belts it to the left side, and it's another double for Gabriella. And the first batter, Lola Meyer, is hit by the first pitch from Gonzalez Pettis of this fifth inning. And Meyer, she is aboard for the third time today. None of them on base hits. 2 on walks, now 1 on a hit by pitch. So this brings on Paris Richards, or as I was talking about in the away half of the inning, pitcher-on-pitcher duel. Richards has reached base not once, but twice today. And the offering misses outside. Nice job by Hayes to bring that one in to prevent Meyer from base running. Which, speaking of base running, UMES in the third inning, they were super effective at base running. They had 4 stolen bases in just 1 inning. 1-0. That ball slapped to the right side, but foul. Richards had a couple of swings where she has showcased some of that power, a little bit of oppo side power as well. As the ball is clearing the fence, but it is in foul territory, but shows how much she can make that softball fly. True velocity off of her bat, 1-1. Rise ball is high for ball 2. So 1 runner aboard for UMES in their first game here at Hawk Field, newly renovated Hawk Field, in quite some time. You've had a lot of people out here to come support the Hawks community. You had local media as well that were here to interview players, coaches, of course, President Heidi Anderson, VP Tara Owens. It's been a really good day. And then also you have alumni here as well, including Robin Pettit. 3-1 is swung on and missed for a strike. Count is 3-2 to Richards. But again, it just means a lot to this program when you have alumni, especially a Hall of Famer for University of Maryland Eastern Shore and Robin Pettit, who was a 2-time MEAC Player of the Year, first MEAC first teamer, I should say, 3-2. That ball driven to right field. This one should stay fair. Corey pushing back, and that ball is down for a base hit. It's off of the fence, and they're going to keep running. Richards, stand-up triple. Meyer in for a score. It looked like Gory was having some trouble finding that ball. She was trying to argue a ground rule double potentially. But that was to no avail as Richards electrifies Hawk Field with a triple. So UMES starting to flex their muscles on offense today. And another run comes in the score. This time it is Lola Meyer. So back-to-back innings where the Hawks have been slugging the softball well enough to bring in runners from first base. Usually it's runners in scoring position being in second or third base would be the definition. But today, runners at first base can sometimes be that one. As it appears we'll have a pitching change. So for this pitching change, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll introduce the new pitcher here on UMES Hawk Athletics YouTube. Welcome back to the action. New pitcher into the game, and it's first pitch swinging by Emily Gunther. High fly to left center, and it is caught in center field. Janiyah Brown makes the catch, but Richards tags up. She scores, and it's a first pitch sacrifice fly for Emily Gunther, and the Hawks lead 7-1. So we didn't even get to introduce the first pitcher before Emily Gunther said, "Welcome to the game." Swing the bat and get a sacrifice fly, another run for the Hawks. But the new pitcher is Skylar Rosenbaum, the junior from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Now to the fray for the Virginia Union Panthers. The Hawks really expanding this lead. They began with a 2-0 advantage in the second, then a 1-run game at the middle of the third inning before the Hawks have really caught fire. They've scored 5 unanswered runs. It's Kinsey Mincer who is up at the plate now. In with the 2-0. And that misses. Again, what's tough about these doubleheader games is when it comes to pitching, you maybe will have your key pitcher pitch both games if you can. but also sometimes you might want to mix things up, especially when it's non-conference action. 3-0, and it's a looking strike. For Mincer, it's been productive today. She had a sacrifice fly in the second inning, so able to contribute to the run total for the Hawks, and that's really impressed me as well. So not only have we seen some two-out hitting, but we've seen some good situational awareness, very sound from the Hawks in this opener. And that goes from offense and defense. 3-1, misses inside. It's a walk for Mincer on 5 pitches.
Batting up next, Paige Perkins.
So here comes Paige Perkins. Bottom of the 5th inning, and a 7-1 lead for Maryland Eastern Shore. And want to just say thank you so much for joining me today for this broadcast. My name is Sedric Granger, and all of our wonderful crew here with UMES. First pitch running after the pitch is called a ball. The throw is not in time. Stolen base as Mincer just able to beat out the throw. She beat it by maybe half a second. I believe the first pitch was a ball, what I think I saw, but even then, when it's a ball or a strike, that's a good base run by Mincer, and she makes stolen base number 5 on the day for UMES. Again, that's something Coach Robinson's really going to like. 1-0, swing and a miss. Nice job attacking low in the zone that time from Rosenbaum. So Rosenbaum replaces Gonzalez Pettis, who had a okay start, 4 innings of work, struck out 3 in those 4 innings, but did give up her fair share of hits, 7 hits and 6 earned runs, 1-1. Fastball misses high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So runner in scoring position for Maryland Eastern Shore, who right now has put up their highest offensive output of the season. 7 runs, season high, 2-1. And that ball drilled to the left side. Just enough room, but dropped. Cameron Walker had the ball, but it was dropped. Mincer running, sprinting in. Paige Perkins gets all the way to second, and another run comes across for the Hawks. It'll be a scores decision, but I believe it'll be scored as an error due to the drop fly ball. Again, very much not easy. It's especially challenging when you're on the road for that reason. Perkins reaches on an error. So it'll make things interesting for earned runs, but if Perkins were to come in to score, it would be an earned run at this point after the E7. Here's Michaela Clark. Looks at the first pitch for a strike. But just some good speed from the Hawks this year. And Mincer showcased that going from second to home on the drop play. But back to my point, when it comes to defense, sometimes it's difficult when you're not as familiar with the field. And for these Virginia Union Panthers players, they've not played at this field at all throughout the year. So you just don't have a good feel for the wall. You don't have a good feel for where the outfield ends and the wall begins. And that can make things really tough, especially since the Hawks have showcased some good power today, whether it's a home run or just a lot of swings that are going to the outfield. Next pitch is fouled off. Think back, I got to talk with a couple of former players in the big leagues, including Kevin Mitchell, played for the Giants and Reds in the 90s, and he talked to me about his experience going and playing at the Chicago Cubs ballpark in Wrigley. And he talked about how that ivy, if you're not used to that ivy hurts when you're running into it as an outfielder. 1-2's fouled off. So it just shows, like, if you're used to your dimensions, that can be a huge advantage. It's one of the reasons why teams can be better at home generally than they are on the road because of how aware they are of the dimensions. But he talked about, when they had road games and they were playing the Chicago Cubs, it was a little bit trickier for him when they only played there about 3 or 4 times a season. And it's a similar dynamic that's playing out here in this college softball game where the outfielders for Virginia Union, they're kind of getting used to this wall. I would suspect in the second game, after learning some of their lessons in the first game, they'll know how to play the dimensions a little bit better. Here's the 2-2. That one's in the turf, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Michaela Clark, who's looking for her first base hit of the day. Came into this game batting .250 in a small sample size. But yeah, even the Hawks, or I should say the Panthers, earlier in this game, the right fielder had some issues trying to field what turned into a triple, as there's another walk Free pass is really starting to stack up now. That's the 6th walk of the day for UMES's offense. And the first time aboard today for Michaela Clark. So now we turn over the lineup card. We're back to the top of the order. It is Skylar Skinner. For the Hawks, since it is after 5 innings, depending on if they're going to do this by the same rules that they do for conference games, it really comes down to just timing and how much development goes on. But the Hawks were able to generate a 10-run lead that could incite the run rule potentially. It looks like there was a substitution for Virginia Union out in right field, and we'll get that as soon as we can. As there's a called strike. Nice pitch there from Rosenbaum, who just came in for Gonzalez Pettis in this frame. Again, for the Hawks, it's been very consistent with the offense. 2 runs here, 2 runs there, 1 run. So 2 runs in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then now 3 in this 5th inning and potentially counting after the foul ball. Skylar Skinner, a solid home debut for the freshman. Solo home run in the 3rd, also reached on a walk. And she sends one over to the right fielder, the new right fielder. Guys up to make the catch. Throws a little errant, though, and both the runners will tag up, and then the umpire just saved a run for Virginia Union inadvertently as the pitcher, Rosenbaum, was going to throw it, and it was going to be offline completely towards second base. It would have allowed Perkins to score, but the umpire just, by bad luck for UMES, he was in the way of that, and the ball did not scamper into the outfield.